So I was just thinking, right? Um, after seeing some things, um, it had just came to me like, yo, we had crack in the '80s. Um, I was born late '80s. We had, I don't know, I don't really know what the distraction was in the '90s. I can't really speak on it, but I can assume it was something. Early 2000s, we had whatever it is. I don't really, like I said, I feel like we was still regular. It was like still pretty regular. Um, and now here we are. I guess you can call it the 2010s, the 2020s, whatever. Um, but here we are in 2024, and I mean, obviously, it's been going on a lot longer. Well, leading up to 2024, but here we are currently, with just uh digital crack. I'm gonna call it that. Um, technology crack. Um, and the reason I'm speaking on it is just like this was something, like I said, I seen something, and then this was like this been on my mind way before I created the channel, but um I just think it's something to be said, like how bad it is with how bad it is, or how bad it is for uh like parents and like competing with technology. um it ain't no secret that shit got all our kids hooked. If you got a teenager on down, um even adults, you know what I mean? But most adults, I mean, obviously, you might have a job or you got some obligations and things that take up your time during the day. I would imagine. So you can't just be consuming it all day. But they come out with these things. They can't. Well, yeah, they come out with these type of things, right? And it's no book on it. It's nothing written. Uh, Other than maybe you might see on the news, like, yeah, just dial back the hours that your kid is on his iPad or his phone, the blue light, or they might have little certain little news clips, or whatever on it. But realistically, that shit sound good, but that's unrealistic. Like, they create these products and this technology and shit, and they just leave the parents to fend for themselves. Like, I got 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all different ages, from 14 on down to 3. Um, well, 14 on down to 2, about to be 3. So basically 15 on down to 3. Basically, but um, and they all use their devices differently, but in totality, it got the kids fucked up. And I'm a parent, so and I'll be honest about it. Like, I used to use it, like, for time pass, like, the kids, they crying, they getting on your nerves, they being loud. You put the tab in front of them, put the phone in front of them. You know what I mean? Let that occupy their time. But as time started to go on, and I started to just see, at times, like, I can see my son, one of my sons or whatever, throughout the day, and I mean, I could come back downstairs, or the whole day go by, and I mean, if it ain't about eating or him having to use the bathroom, he won't move from that spot. And I know you gonna have some people like, well, that's why you monitor him, or, that's why you put him on limits and things like that. Listen, realistically, the way this shit set up, like, you ain't nothing really else for them to do. You don't want your kids going outside because of the violence. You know what I mean? Because of all the shit that's going on the outside, or just weird shit in general. So it's like, it seems like that's like the only thing that's really, like, soothing for them, and they're really into it. They love it. You know what I mean? Kids in general, they just love it. But like I said, as time would go on, or I would go around my grandma, she real old school. She born in the late 40s. You know what I'm saying? And she be, Brandon, don't let them be on them phones like that. Like, why? Like, you know, one time I went over her house and she was just like, yo, like, they on them phones all day. She would call me about it and I would just brush it off like, grandma, that's just what they into. That's just how that's how they communicate. That's how they live their life. That's what they into. They on Roblox or they, you know, they on FaceTime or they, you know, whatever they doing. And I don't know if it's, you know, because I found my way on this journey or what, but I start to see it more and more clearer now, like what it's doing to the kids, what it's doing to their minds, what it's doing to their development. Um, you know, all of those things. That shit like crack, man. It's like kids aren't the same. Kids don't go outside. I mean, they do, but they don't. Kids don't really yearn to be outside late or not wanting to come in or like they really it. And everybody talking about it like, yeah, you know, it's different. We used to play. We used to do. That shit ain't no coincidence that oh they just stopped playing because it ain't fun. Playing is fun. Going outside, doing activities, playing football, playing basketball, hopscotch, girls, jumping rope. That shit fun. We got by on that. Like that shit, it wasn't even a get by. That shit was lit. It was fun. You know what I'm saying? But you know, now it's like that shit is like a thing of the past, and all you see and all it is like the phone, the phone, the phone, the phone. My 3-year-old, he wake up, first thing come out his mouth. Where my iPad? Where my tablet? You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said in the beginning of the video, it's hard because it's like, how do you compete with that? Once they get a taste of that shit, that phone, he 8 now, but at the time I got him a phone, he was 6. And this was before my awakening and my enlightenment and the way I see the world now as opposed to then. But dumb fucking making impulsive decisions, you know what I'm saying? Not being not even emotionally intelligent, but just not being smart enough to realize, like, bro, why you buying a 6-year-old a phone? But I'm buying him a phone so he can be in, or so he don't feel no way because his older brother got a phone, or, you know what I'm saying? So it's like all of those things, and it's like, bro, you buying a kid that age a phone, once they get a taste of that shit, bro, and it's almost like how we adapted to whatever we was into when we was kids. You know that it's like for them because it's like my 2-year-old work a fucking tablet better than like grown-ups, like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like once they was like introduced to it, it's a wrap. Good luck with trying to take that shit away. And I got and I have you know, like I run this shit is what I'm trying to say. I don't really know the word. So it's nothing like that. But it's like, again, how do you compete with that shit? Like, you ain't in a position of every day a fun day. Every day y'all going somewhere. Every day we going out every week. Like, so you really find yourself trying to compete with it. You know what I mean? That shit is there. It's accessible. They love it. Like I said, they take to it right away. YouTube, Roblox, all the shit like that. The YouTubers streaming. They addicted to that shit. Like I said, my 3-year-old, he wake up in the morning. Don't play with that boy tablet. That shit better have 100%. My 8-year-old, I mean, we got a little thing that we going through right now because, you know, I thought it was affecting him. And again, that's another thing. It's so much for a 7-year-old, 8-year-old to have to deal with and be responsible about. Like, you know, I found out later on his teacher was just on some bullshit. But I'm like, damn, I can't imagine back when I was going to school having a phone. You know what I mean? I ain't have a beeper, but having a phone, all of this shit. Being in school, I know how it felt when I got a new PlayStation game. I couldn't focus because I was just so excited to get back home to that shit. So imagine you got this device, this satellite is yours. You can't focus in school, do the work when you worrying about going home and grinding and unlocking the new this. So I thought it was a fact, but we found out the teacher was just on some bullshit. But it still was just things that just it had his attention so much. So that's why I say we at odds with that right now. I told him, I gave him 2 strikes in the beginning of the summer when school let out, and you know, he did what I knew he was gonna do because his attention is just all on that phone. You know what I'm saying? That shit be having him like in another place, and so he blew through his 2 strikes, and you know, it was just like, you know, enough is enough. I'm standing on it because, like I said, I be feeling bad when I take it because it's like, damn, how do I compete with that? You know what I mean? But um, I said, you know what, man, enough is enough. So I just took that shit for the summer. So, you know, and I feel good about it now because like instantly, he he got a PlayStation 5. He play the game. You know, shit that kids do. Not saying that the game is that much more healthier for him, but he playing the game. He actually interacting with his little brother. Like he doing shit. I'm seeing progress overnight. And I noticed it, you know, when we tried it before, but I gave in. But this time, like, you know, we in July now, and it's like, yo, he like a new kid. He like a new fucking kid, man. And it's like, yo, so again, man, like the shit that they doing is like on a deeper level um than what most people can really see it as. But they fucking our kids up, man, with all this tech shit. And you know, you thinking it's making them smarter or they savvy. No, man. They gotta get to that point. We talking about as kids, like, and just, you know, their development and just that's all they know. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. I just felt the need to make this video because I'm like, yo, somebody can relate to this shit, man, on how it's affecting their kids. Or, you know, we talk about the positives so much, but like, let's talk about the negatives and let's be honest and transparent. Like, that shit ain't no good, man. And I mean, even restrictions, like, I mean, I don't know. It's just, it's new to everybody. You know what I mean? We like this shit. They just dumped it on us, and we gotta figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, I just wanted to come on here and just, um, just, have some dialogue. You know what I'm saying, about it or whatever. Comment. Let me know how y'all feeling. Like, what's y'all what's y'all battle with y'all, you know what I mean, with y'all kids, or how difficult it is, you know what I'm saying, if you can relate or whatever the case may be, like, you know what I mean. So